Hey guys, I'm Alex. Yeah, no Andrew or Ryan because we don't need them. You know why we don't need them? We're doing a tier list that just doesn't involve them. A Metallica album tier list. When did you guys ever think we would do something like this? So the reason it's just me and not the other two is because I'm the only one who knows every song by Metallica and every album. I mean, I have them tattooed on my left arm, for Christ's sake. So this is going to be the official tier list. When I say the official, I mean everybody else's opinion doesn't matter. Just going to take my time here and change these back to the actual tier names. S, A, B, C, and then we'll just go right to F. We don't need to have D. All right. So I guess I'll talk about like how I'm going to grade these two. So obviously how much I like the album matters. Personal taste, but also, you know, how successful the album was, slash like how popular it was. Right? Because those two things, you know, you have to weigh both your own objective or a subjective opinion and the objectiveness of the album. You know, like everybody thought it was good, you know, got radio time, blah, 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 blah. So on and so forth. That's really it. So we have S, A, B, C, and F tier. All right, so first album is Kill 'Em All, and that is the first Metallica album. So this is a very nostalgic album for me. It's really tough to like place it because I love it so much. But how good is it really? Like, this is the thrashiest album they've ever put out, in my opinion. They played everything super fast. James was really, you know, he had a really high pitched, like almost shrill, harsh vocals, and he doesn't do that on literally any other album like that. Nothing even close. So, and there are some heaters on there. Like I mean, I love Jump in the Fire. That's a really good one. And then Whiplash is really good. There's so many good ones, man. Metal Militia, the whole album is really good, actually. It's a little basic in terms of the riffage, but there's still like face melting solos in it. The tracks aren't too long either. They're very punchy. The Four Horsemen's on here, dude. That's one of my favorite solos ever. I think this is an A. I'm gonna put Kill 'Em All at A. That was some different shit. All right. Dude, this next album, here's Ryan, is gonna be completely fucking lost. Bro's mogging on me. What the kids say? Okay. Hardwired to Self-Destruct. So this came out 10 years ago. This came out in 2016. So Hardwired to Self-Destruct, I thought was their first like return to form after they had, you know, a couple albums that were like, you know, like the album before this was what? It would have been, was it Death Magnetic right before that? Death Magnetic is really good, actually. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so then it was when they went on a long hiatus, right? I wasn't even sure they would keep making music, to be but I remember hearing the single Hardwired, you know, just dig it in, just a straight ass beater front to back. And I was like, wow, these guys really just still have it. They're actually still heavy. They're still thrashy. And the album really has everything. You know, you have stuff like Hardwired on there, and then you have your more commercial songs like Moth into Flame that you can play on the radio that are still really good. And then the song that really, really put me over the edge for like, you know, selling me on Metallica's return after, you know, so long was Spit Out the Bone. Spit Out the Bone is fucking heat. If you have not heard Spit Out the Bone on this record, you are missing out. This, I mean, they are literally just showing off their ability to create great riffs. I mean, this has like 10 good riffs in it. a really good solo, some really slow, sludgy breakdown sections that they don't typically have. This song had everything. I mean, this completely revitalized Metallica for me. There's no way, like, because they were so old when they made this, it can only be so intense. But honestly, I think this is a B. I know people might not agree with that, but I think this is a B. There's just the thing is though is there are songs on here that completely miss. At least for me, like I thought Halo on Fire was terrible. People really like that song, and I think it's Am I Savage is terrible. But other than that, like for them to be that old and still have like 3 or 4 good songs on an album, like that's really good for me. That's really good for me. Okay, Master of Puppets. I know a lot of people are gonna immediately put this in S. But let's just like think about it. Okay, it starts off hot, right, with Battery. Master of Puppets, I want to say, is like the 3rd track on there. I can't remember what other tracks are on there. Like even the tracks that are meant to be just more of like the the lull of the album, or the interlude, like Leper Messiah, are still heat. The only song I'm not huge on there is what is it? The Monster song. Not Some Kind of Monster. What the hell is it called? Got it right. Oh, The Thing That Should Not Be. The Thing That Should Not Be. Yeah, that song's a bit of a miss for me, but I mean, you got some of the best solos they've ever written on here, and arguably their best instrumental in Orion. I mean, Cliff Burton goes crazy in that song. All his soloing, and like it doesn't even sound like a bass. This and Master of Puppets to me is the greatest metal song ever made. This was like their last album where they were like completely underground, and a lot of people say this is their peak, but oh man, it's so close to S. I'm putting it at A. I'm gonna put it at A because The Thing That Should Not Be really brings it down. That, and I'm not huge on Damage Incorporated either. I thought the ending of this album wasn't amazing. It was pretty good, but not amazing. So for me, it's like this is like A++. Man, that's tough. And Justice for All. Okay, so Injustice for All, I thought was where they really started to do more of like some like prog stuff, but it's such a well-balanced album. Now, of course, they tuned down the bass for Jason, which you and we all hate that, and maybe the riffs sound a little dry, but they had a lot of good riffs on this album. I mean, you got songs like The Freight Ends of Sanity, like the most underrated song of all time, in my opinion, with one of their best solos they've ever done. That's like a top 3 solo for me. Starting off with Blackened, right into Injustice for All, like, I don't know that this song has a bad album. Said that backwards. I don't know that this album has a bad song on it. And the last song, right, is what? Dyer's Eve. And like, one of those songs that they can't even play live anymore. This is where they really started to break out of being underground. They were still kind of underground here, because metal just was, but you can't find a bad section on this album. To Live Is to Die is another masterpiece of an instrumental. Obviously, ode to the passing of Cliff Burton, R.I.P. There's just so much feel in this album. There's so much feel in it. Even the weaker tracks like Harvester of Sorrow, absolute banger of a track, and just a different feel for Metallica. Like this is where they started to. Everything wasn't, let's go as fast as we can. You had stuff that were like in the middle and frantic-y, like Blackened, and then slower stuff like Injustice for All and Harvester of Sorrow, to extremely fast like Dyer's Eve. And well, hold on. I didn't even talk about One. One, everybody knows the song One. Everybody loves the song One. And that's one of those songs that was like now I'm not saying it is but one of the original like breakdown moments in a song. This has got to be S tier. Gotta be S tier. The Black Album. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but people just pretend to hate this album. I'm going to say it. They pretend to hate it because, oh, they went soft, like they sold out. Yeah, guess what? This album is the reason that metal is mainstream at all. This album put them on the map. So again, I really do like this album, but also this is where the objectiveness comes in of, this album was so popular. Enter Sandman is revolutionary. Everybody on the planet knows Enter Sandman. Everybody. You can't tell me otherwise. Nothing Else Matters is an incredible ballad. You have arguably, and people like to say, like the heaviest riff of all time, Sad But True. Dun, 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 dun. It just stuck in your head. There's earworms on this whole album. And then the weaker tracks, like Of Wolf and Man, still really, really good. My Friend in Misery, The Struggle Within, like this is, and like this was what, 12 tracks, I think? Yeah, 12 tracks, and still not a single bad one. Like you even had your sing-alongs, right? Enter Sandman, Wherever I May Roam. Yes, they got a little bit softer here, but it was still metal, man. Like let's not kid ourselves. There was a little less soloing than normal in this album, but there was still some good thrashy stuff. But I think this was a lot more drum centric, which I believe their producer at the time, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, was really going for that driving through the drums, and it worked, man. This was so well produced. Everybody knows Metallica because of this album. But in my own opinion, like there's no way I can put it in S tier. I'm putting it in A, and I'm putting it above Master of Puppets, not because it's better, but because of what it did for metal. Everybody thanks Metallica for this album. They do. Okay. Next album. So, okay. I'm like the only one that I know as a Metallica fan, when talking with other Metallica fans, that likes this album. Death Magnetic came out in 2008. Okay, so a huge, like, when did this was how long ago, or how long after? So the Black Album was in 91, and then you had Load and Reload. I'm not going to get into those, Garage and S&M, but like. And then what? Then it was Saint Anger. So Saint Anger happened, and they did nothing for 5 years. And, everyone hated Saint Anger. And then they came back with this fucking banger. Dude, Death Magnetic, and this is when Metallica started to show their age. Like, they've been around a long time. They started in the 80s. This is 2008. I think this album, other than its mixing, I know everyone says the mixing is bad. I think this album is so good. It's so good. Like, what's my favorite track on here? Probably, I'm a big All Nightmare Long and The Judas Kiss I think are my two favorite. They started to have some kind of cringy moments in this album. Don't get me wrong. Like, I thought Broken, Beat, and Scarred was a little corny. And the end of the line is kind of the same thing where I had this like dun 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 with like the vocal cadence. And it was just like, what are they trying to do here? But, they were just trying to do something different. Then you had your laid back songs in there like Cyanide, where you could just sing along, and it was just like, background music. The Unforgiven 3 is a masterpiece. The Day That Never Comes is another masterpiece. How are they still writing like generational bangers, like 20 something years into their career? Suicide and Redemption is a decent instrumental. I thought it was very safe and a little boring, but it still sounded good. This album doesn't get enough credit. It's severely underrated. The problem with this is that there's songs that are really good and really bad. I think, but there's no way I can put it under Hardwired. You know what? I'm going to put Hardwired down to C. I'm going to put it down to C. Because I thought it was fringe, and Death Magnetic is a B. 100%. 100%. All right. Saint Anger. Here we go. Listen. Saint Anger, when it first came out, was very, very poorly received. And I totally get it. The drums just sound like pots and pans. But if you guys have ever watched some kind of monster documentary that talks about this album, you will know that like that horrible drum snare sound is like what kept the band together. Like they were fighting so badly, and the only thing keeping them together was like Lars was fucking around saying like, let's just try this drum sound, and it was terrible, but they just like, it just made them lock in. I know that doesn't make any sense. You kind of have to watch the documentary to know, but they were just fighting in the studio. They never thought they were going to finish this. They couldn't stand each other. And Lars just did something so outlandish. But listen, I don't love the snare either, but sometimes I do. And the longer you listen to this album, the more you realize that it is actually pretty good. And knowing that like the guys were struggling trying to make the album kind of adds to the theme and the atmosphere that this album creates. I think All Within My Hands is really good. I like Purify. I know people probably don't like that. Some Kind of Monster, I think, is an absolute banger. That is such a good song. That song fucking rips, and it's got some good little breakdown sections in there, dude. When they get into that doon 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 doon, just what a good groove. What a good groove. Invisible Kid is like to me the worst of it. Another one of those like cheesy songs, like Invisible Kid, always see what he did, or whatever how it goes. I don't know, that song's ass. And then you have like Frantic is not bad. Saint Anger is good, right? Sweet Saint Anger, like that song's really good. This has a lot of misses though, but if you really really listen to all of these, like it's basically an album of deep cuts, all of them. There are some good songs on here. All that being said, I'm still putting it at C, but I'm definitely putting it under Hardwire. There's no way it's as good as Hardwired in my opinion. Okay, so this next one, Garage Incorporated, is basically, if you don't know, they're covers. This came out in '98. Man, I was 6. This kind of helped them along when they weren't really doing a whole lot. Like Black Album came out in '91. And then was it this? I think, God, sorry guys. Sometimes I forget. It's been so long. Okay. Oh yeah, no. Well, there was Load and Reload. Yeah. So nothing too memorable. not to give anything away, but I thought this was a good revival stage for them too. This band is so old that they just have so many revival stages. But there are good ones on here. Like Turn the Page, I thought they did very well. Their Whiskey in the Jar, people love that song. Merciful Fate. There's a couple others on here I can't think of. Though I thought The Weight was really good too, even though it sounds mixed so badly. This just kind of kept people wanting more Metallica, and like it just kind of kept them just relevant enough for them to like hold on, we'll come out with some good stuff. But it's still just a bunch of covers. It's C. I'd put it under Saint Anger. I'd put it just over Saint Anger. Lulu. Listen, guys, I shouldn't even rate Lulu. This is pure shit. This is pure shit. And not just as a Metallica album, even though really I'd call this a Lou Reed album. To me, this is unlistenable. It's terrible. I don't have anything good to say about it. Like the first time I heard this, I didn't even... it didn't even sound like Metallica to me. I didn't even know I was like embarrassed. I was embarrassed. This is an obvious F. As bad as anything I've ever heard, by the way. Get some light in here. Yeah, just an embarrassing album. They should have whatever. You know, at that point in their career, this was 2011, like they could do whatever they wanted. So whatever, I'm fine with it. All right, Ride the Lightning. Anybody not putting Ride the Lightning as the best album they've ever made is wrong. Objectively. Not even you are objectively wrong. This is easily top to bottom an album that doesn't have a single second of bad music played. You start off right with Fight Fire with Fire, which is maybe the only song where you can make an argument where it's like, oh man, it's like so fast, I don't even know what to do with it. But anybody that listens to thrash, like this is how you make a thrash album. And I want everyone to keep in mind that this geniusness happened in 84, I think, right? Is it 1984? Yeah, 1984. I'm just going to read you the list of songs. Fight Fire with Fire, right? Then Ride the Lightning, which, the solo in that song makes the song an S tier song alone. For Whom the Bell Tolls, one of the most iconic songs of all time. Again, a song that everyone knows despite being in an underground metal band at the time. Trapped Under Ice is so frantic with like a zillion solos in it. It's so much fun. And it's just a 4-minute song. Like they did everything right there. Escape is the only one that you can like knock them for here. But to be fair, they only released this to appease mainstream radio. Like their label, I can't remember if it was their producer or their label, was like, we need you to make a song that everybody like can listen to. And they hated it and they just put it on there. So I barely even count it because they didn't even want it on there. Creeping Death, an absolute all-timer. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Like, that song is so memorable. It's so well written. The composition is amazing. The solo is amazing. I love the main riff. They capture the feel of like ancient Egypt and like Passover just so well with the way they're playing. And the Call of Cthulhu, I think, is my personal favorite instrumental. I think it's amazing. They even made it sound like, the Cthulhu monster is coming to kill everyone. How did they do that? This is maybe the best album ever made, in my opinion, in terms of metal. I don't know how you can put this anywhere else. This is the most obvious S tier. I just wanted to glaze it for a second. Okay, S&M. So, like, S&M came 1 year after Garage Incorporated, and it's so if you don't know what it is, it's basically their songs, well, mostly their songs, reimagined, if you will, with a live symphony. And this got so many people involved with metal. So objectively, like, you have to say it's really good. It really let people understand that, wow, this is more than just them playing loud, fast music. This is how people, were able to understand that Metallica were geniuses. Like, the fact that these songs can even be played with a symphony just tells you how they're composed. I think all of the songs are really well done. And what's the one everybody loves? What is it? 4-Leaf Clover or something? Or maybe that's an S&M too. But yeah, like they did everything from like they did Master of Puppets on here. And they played it live with the symphony too, which really just, again, I mean, these guys are masterminds. This just really reinvented Metallica in a time where, the Black Album is 8 years old at this point and there's not a whole lot going on. S&M, I would say, is B. I'm not putting it over Death Magnetic. No way. Not over a studio album like that. Okay. Load. This is like almost not even metal to me. Dude, I think there's like 2 songs on here I like. Ain't My Bitch is pretty good. The House of Jack Built is okay. King Nothing is good. I think the rest of these are dog shit. These are dog shit. Dude, I think this album is worse than Saint Anger. Load is just like, They basically were doing like bluegrass metal. What are you guys doing? This was, I don't care what anyone says. Like, it was shit. I'm putting it under Saint Anger. I'm doing it. I'm tired of people pretending this album is good. Why do people say it's good? You know why? It's because they're like, dude, Load came out and then a year later, Reload. Reload time. That doesn't make it good, bro. If Metallica is releasing albums back to back, it's because they know that first one was ass and they tried to make up for it. Which, I'll just do Reload next now that we're talking about it. And let me just say, it didn't fix the issue. The Unforgiven 2 is the only one in the trilogy that's not that good. It's fine. It has its moments. It's not terrible. And there's one other one. Oh, yeah, Fuel. Okay, listen, Fuel is good. And Fuel got a lot of people into metal. It was on the radio, you know. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Like, it's so memorable from the second it starts. The Memory Remains is pretty good, but then you have 9 songs. I just don't know what they're doing. Some more bluegrass bullshit. Like, they were just trying something different, and it just didn't land. At least not with me. I don't even think these were particularly popular, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, all Metallica is popular, but this, for this to be coming right after the Black Album, what were they thinking? Honestly, Reload has less heaters than Load, and that's not saying much. Actually, now, you know what? I would say because of Fuel alone, I'll put it there. But, I mean, those albums, guys, are embarrassing. I don't care what anyone says. It's embarrassing. Okay. And the latest album, 72 Seasons. So, it's been a while since I heard this, but I remember when I heard Lux Eterna, and I'm like, as old as these guys are, for them to still come out with a song that's like just, you know, the whole song, it hit me in the feels. It hit me in the feels. But I have to be objective and like, was it a good song? I listened to it sometimes, but this is at the point where, you know, they've gotten really hell yeah-ish, like hell yeah metal. But again, I mean, these guys are dinosaurs. For what it was, I think this was a really good album. For what it was, I'm not saying that it itself is really good, but you know, you have Shadows Follow is good. Lux Eterna is good. If Darkness Had a Sun, I really liked. But some of these, you know, the theme of this album was like they were really sinking into their riffs, which I like that they do that. But these just felt so hell yeah-ish that they were just like this the whole time. And a lot of the sections would just go on and on and on. It's a lot of long songs, you know, like Enamorata is, or however you say it, is 11 minutes. Like, come on. There were still a couple good songs on here, but I like this just has to be the end of the road for them. There's no way it's F, but I feel like, you know what? I'm gonna add a tier here. Actually, for D, because I think Load and Reload should be in D. And I would put 72 Seasons, like, they're not as bad as Load and Reload. They're not. If they were younger and like had the concept for this album, I think this album would have been so much better. I think it's a very strong C-. But look how many good albums they had, right? Like even those C albums are listenable. These guys are awesome. They're the best. They're the best ever, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Ride the Lightning and Justice for All, the 2 S tier. A tier, you got the Black Album, Master Puppets, and Kill 'Em All. Death Magnetic and S&M and B. And then you got Hardwired to Self-Destruct, Garage Incorporated, Saint Anger, and 72 Seasons all in C. Someone's going to get mad about that. And then Load and Reload in D. And then, come on, I didn't have to put Lulu in F. You guys already knew. Let me know, or let us know, rather, sorry, what you guys thought. We would totally be down to do more tier lists. We just wanted to make sure that we know enough about it. There's a lot of metal elitists out there. Got to make sure you know what you're talking about. But yeah, that was our Metallica album tier list. Let me know any of the hot takes I had in there or bad takes or, whatever. You guys are going to shit all over me. I don't really care.